The following is an ESG video.
Over recent years, software-defined storage has often seemed to be equal parts reality and hype, with multiple solutions leveraging the moniker, each using different definitions, providing value in different ways and targeting different markets. It's easy to see how many IT professionals can get confused. While the potential of advantage over traditional architectures is definitely present, the software-defined storage segment is still relatively nascent when compared to the rest of the storage industry. As with many emerging technologies, early adopters must often make some form of sacrifice or trade-off when deploying. Maybe the system isn't as easy to use, maybe it doesn't have all the features. The need for compromise, however, may be coming to an end. Hedvig, an emerging software-defined storage player, plans to deliver the storage flexibility and scalability of software-defined with the capabilities necessary to supplant traditional storage array functionality. I'm here with my colleague, Mark Peters, today to discuss Hedvig's technology and the resulting benefits. Mark, can you describe some of the ways that Hedvig is providing hardware independence with its software-defined architecture?
Sure. Well, as you said, there are many people claiming the moniker and using software-defined to describe many different ways of doing things. And so, for example, we find that some people can virtualize existing arrays. That's great. Obviously, you're dealing with what you're already used to. But of course, let's say you then need to step up in terms of capacity or performance. You're going to have to buy more arrays at that traditional storage array price point. And so that could be a more expensive way of doing things, albeit it's perhaps easier to get into. Someone like Hedvig comes along and is very interesting because they represent a pure software approach that allows you to step back from precisely what hardware you use, different platforms from a server perspective, a meritocracy, if you like, down at the hardware level. But not just that, but they've gone one step further. They don't just support x86, which might be the expected route for many, but they also support lower cost ARM processors. And so the combination of this stepping back both from the processor and from the more general storage hardware is a great combination in terms of, as you said, taking us away from that hardware constraint.
What are some of the other benefits of Hedvig's software-defined storage architecture?
Well, beyond the architecture itself, it's software, and that really answers the question. As you can imagine, this can run on a physical machine, on a virtual machine. Because it's software, it could be on-premise or off-premise. So this gives full flexibility to use the public cloud if you want to, or to grow to that later, or to use a hybrid solution. So the quick answer is, it's software. If you can run software there, you can run Hedvig there.
What about some of the storage capabilities? Can you walk through some of Hedvig's storage functionality?
Yeah, even before I get to that list of checkbox items of functionality, let me talk about one of the things I like from a storage perspective. This can scale from literally just 2 nodes to thousands of nodes. So if you like, you could view that on the small end as a hyper-converged possibility, all the way up to something which is really hyperscale. So really tremendous scale. If you get to that point, then it's going to auto-balance across those nodes. You can tier across those nodes as well, so great flexibility. You can grow the scale and the capacity and performance independently. Things like flash caching you can do. Things like replication you can do. Things like snapshots and clones. All those things that, if you like, are checkbox items on enterprise systems are all available. There's multi-protocol support as well. So a really very full and flexible solution.
What about use cases? What do you see as some of the potential opportunities for Hedvig?
I think the areas that particularly suit Hedvig and its abilities are going to be 3. First is anyone who is seeking to build and grow out a public-private or indeed obviously a hybrid cloud. The flexibility of their solution makes it ideal for that. And then added to that, and one of the reasons that it's good for that, of course, is the scalability that we've already talked about. So if we start small, you can see Hedvig being very useful for just people with a few virtual instances in a virtualized server environment. So that's very good. And if you look at the other end, on the big side of things, Hedvig's ability to be that singular pool against which you can run all your analytics applications is another area that I think is really interesting for them straight out of the gate.